You've probably heard of the word cell before, but have you ever wondered what cells really are? In this video, we will answer this question as well as explain what are the two types of cells, the differentiation of cells, stem cells, and a lot more. So if you'd like to learn about that, just keep watching. According to the cell theory, all living things are composed of cells or cell products. The cell is the smallest unit of life, and cells only arise from pre-existing cells. There are two different types of cells, the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic. Prokaryotes are organisms that have a simple cell structure without compartmentalization and whose cells lack a nucleus. They belong to the kingdom Monera and have been classified into two distinct domains. One of them is Archaebacteria, which is found in extreme environments like high temperatures, salt concentrations, or pH. Extremophiles are one example. The other domain is called eubacteria, which consists of traditional bacteria, including the most known pathogenic forms. E. coli is one example. Eukaryotic cells, on the other hand, have a nucleus. They have a more complex structure and are believed to have evolved from prokaryotic cells through endosymbiosis. Eukaryotic cells are compartmentalized by membrane-bound structures, the organelles, that perform specific roles. Eukaryotes can be divided into four distinct kingdoms: Protista, fungi, plantae, and animalia. Inside cells, there are different organelles, which are specialized substructures that serve a specific function. Prokaryotic cells don't typically have any membrane-bound organelles, while eukaryotic cells have several. Ribosomes, responsible for synthesizing protein, cytoskeleton, which provides internal structure and mediates intercellular transport, and plasma membrane, which regulates what enters and leaves the cell, are the only organelles that both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells have. Only eukaryotic cells have nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, mitochondrium, peroxisomes, centrosome, and microtubules. Lysosomes only exist in animal cells, and chloroplast, vacuole, and cell wall are present in plant cells only. The cell membrane provides protection for the cell and also regulates the transport of materials to the inside or to the outside of the cell. The phospholipid structure consists of a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic tail. This means that basically the head loves water while the tail doesn't. Phospholipids spontaneously arrange into a bilayer, with the tail facing inwards. The bilayer is held together by weak hydrophobic interactions between the tails. The hydrophilic and hydrophobic layers restrict the passage of many substances. Individual phospholipids can move within the bilayer, allowing for membrane fluidity and flexibility. This fluidity allows the spontaneous breaking and reforming of membranes for endocytosis and exocytosis. Cholesterol is a component of animal cell membranes, where it functions to maintain integrity and mechanical stability. It functions to immobilize the outer surface of the membrane, reducing fluidity. It makes the membrane less permeable to very small water-soluble molecules that would otherwise freely cross. It functions to separate phospholipid tails and so prevent crystallization of the membrane. It helps secure peripheral proteins by forming high-density lipid rafts capable of anchoring the protein. Now let's talk about the types of transport. Passive transport involves the movement of material along a concentration gradient, from a high concentration to a low concentration. Because materials move down a concentration gradient, it doesn't require energy. There are three main types of passive transport. Simple diffusion, which is the movement of small or lipophilic molecules, O2 and CO2 are examples. Osmosis, which is the movement of water molecules dependent on solute concentrations, and facilitated diffusion, which is the movement of large or charged molecules through membrane proteins. Active transport involves the movement of materials against a concentration gradient, from a low concentration to a high concentration. Because materials move against the gradient, it requires energy. There are two main types of active transport: the primary, which involves the direct use of metabolic energy to mediate transport, and the secondary, which involves coupling the molecule with another, moving along an electrochemical gradient. Differentiation is the process during development through which recently formed cells become more specialized and distinct from one another as they mature. All cells of an organism share an identical genome. Each cell contains the entire set of genetic instructions for that organism. The activation of different instructions, the genes, within a given cell by chemical signals will cause it to differentiate. Stem cells are unspecialized cells that have two key qualities. One is self renewal, meaning that they can constantly divide and replicate, and the other one is potency, meaning that they have the capacity to differentiate into specialized cell types. Stem cells can be used to replace damaged or diseased cells with healthy, functioning ones, and this is called stem cell therapy. Some examples are that people who have type 1 diabetes can replace non functioning islet cells with those capable of producing insulin, and also fire victims can use stem cells to replace damaged tissues. That's it for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.